Yeah, I made fried rice today. A lot of fried rice.
All right. So did you do that often?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Never.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
I'm 1,000.
All right. Don't start that. Your character's life depends on it.
Right.
So last week, my girl, she came home. She's all excited about buying a new game for the PlayStation. Buys it, starts downloading it. It crashes.
What?
the hard drive started going bad in the PlayStation.
Brand new one?
No, we've had the PlayStation for about 2 years.
But still,
But-
only 2 years.
Yeah.
That is unfortunate.
On the other hand, it's not unexpected because hard drives start to go bad after about 2 years. There's a
Yeah.
white paper published on it.
What game was it?
Outer Worlds,
Never heard of it.
but
Neither.
we played a lot of Borderlands 3, like a lot of Borderlands 3, and she's like, "Oh my god, all the rare games or all the rare guns." So, new hard drive finally came in today,
Well, that's good.
and she's happily playing the new game now.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yep, I am happy. And it was an actual upgrade too. Granted, not in size, but at least in speed. It's a hybrid drive. Woohoo!
Okay. So where we last left off, y'all had done the long trek into the foothills to the of the Ashkeeper Mountains towards the Abbey, the Volk Abbey, near the community of Talonstadt. Of course, temperatures have been dropping as the weather is getting cooler, and you've made slow progress through the rocky terrain as you've moved through. The pace for the attack animals has been a little hard, and you're finding yourselves having to stop more often and give them a rest. But overall, since the Forgotten Shrine, you have made good time. Earlier, as you remember, you rounded a bluff and discovered ahead of you what appeared to be a traveling circus. An easy spot is due to their large carts, their overly vibrant banners, and the banners thus proclaiming Countess Indigo's Circus of Gravitas. But upon further inspection and getting closer, you realize they were under attack. And they were under attack by several goblinoids, their cohorts, and of course a two-headed giant. You rush to their aids and quickly dispatch these enemies. And that's kind of where we last left off. As the troops members began walking towards y'all, moving the corpses of the goblins and such off to the side. Of course, the Intons is too large to move, so they're having to they're working with some of their oxen on one of the wagons to move it to the side of the road to clear the path for themselves when they're heading back, and of course for y'all. Madam Easley. Let's see here. I'm going to. Don't think I can put her picture directly into. I might be able to. Let me see. Hadn't thought about that. Sorry, my bad. Let's see here. Let's go. Foundry, Wildemount images, Countess Indigo. Don't think I can select them all. Of course not.
Man.
That's the only problem with Foundry. It's not an easy way to drag and drop images onto the playing field. And I wish there was. And I just load her image, but she didn't pop into the... Okay, so I'm going to use Facebook Instant Messenger group because it's much easier to do this kind of stuff with. So if you want to pull that up real quick.
Not a problem.
Way ahead of you.
Okay, 1 second here. I'm going to drop numerous pictures into it just to make it really quick.
Why is my computer so laggy?
So Countess Easley Blix was the lead of the actual troop itself. You know her through your history, as we mentioned earlier. Why is the map so dark? Let me check the light settings here.
The silent one. I'm just trying to tell you that I love you.
And so she's the last one, has her hands crossed, she kind of walking up. She's got a purpley velvet long dress with puffy shoulders on it, a long auburn hair that kind of drapes down her back. Really beautiful maroon like little tuft of a tie, if you will, kind of coming off of her neck. And she comes walking forward, patiently walking up. You see Jamison. Now he's the guy in the pictures that has the purple captain's like hat on. It's also a picture of Grog from Critical Role. I just liked it, so I used it.
I run up to Madame Easley and say,
As you approach, she kind of takes a back, puts her hands on her chest, and she goes, "Blix?"
"It's so good to see you."
And she kind of moves forward and takes a knee to get to your height and extends her arms out and gives you a big hug. And she goes, I can't believe we've run into you. I thought you had left this area.
"Oh, I've been traveling around. I'm sorry to have taken all your fun on these goblins, but it looked like you needed a hand, so we jumped in."
Oh, that's fine. we don't mind at all.
How's it been?
Well, besides a few troubles on the roads, they've gotten a little more dangerous. We were actually on our way to do the entertainment to the Abbey. We know the children this time of the year like that. And so we were making our way up there. And now that you think about it...
we're headed up there as well.
Oh. Well, now that you remember, that was actually one of their yearly routines that they would actually make their trip up there to entertain the children.
I do remember that now, yeah.
While they were there, you also know that the hands at the Abbey would help with simple repairs to the wagons. That's how they paid them for the entertainment of the children. So it was kind of a give and take agreement they had. They would entertain the children for a few days, sometimes a week, and they would get some food and place to rest. Their animals would be fed, and their equipment, wagons and such, would be repaired. The sisters at the Abbey were quite adept at sewing and things of that sort. The tents and the other equipment they had often needed repair by the end of the season, which is coming up now because of winter falling in, right? So, mentioning that, where did we last? So, yeah. So this is oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm using a new tool, so I'm trying to get used to how I've organized it.
Hey, take your time.
And I've lost the date. Yeah, so this is Horisal the 11th. I don't think I'm saying that right. Horisal. How would y'all say that?
Horisal, Horisal?
Yeah, that's what I said. I wasn't sure if it was right or not.
Horisal?
Maybe. As you're, so it's the 11th, so a day or two have passed since the last time. I think it was the 9th, right? Remember, the temperatures are running kind of cold, around 36 degrees, 2 degrees 30 Fahrenheit, 2 degrees Celsius. The lows at night get pretty low, 21 degrees or such. But it's actually considered warmer than normal this time of the year up in the mountains. There is a light breeze, about 9 or so miles an hour, but kind of blowing through. If you weren't bundled up, it'd be kind of challenging to not get, in the evening, get frostbite and things of that sort. So anyway, she says, we have some simple repairs to make on the wagons from the lead wagon that kind of damaged it, but that won't take us long. I'm glad you're going to the Abbey. And she kind of stands up and she extends her hand out to take your hand as she walks.
I take her hand.
She walks forward and she goes, "Oh, how rude of me." She turns around and she looks at all of y'all and she goes, "Who are your companions?"
Oh,
And she
well.
goes, "Oh, you're all sellswords?" Because she's looking at your weapons and your equipment, your armor. She's kind of quick to pick up on that.
These are my friends. This pale dude is Nick. This is my kitty cat, Pandora.
Tabaxian. We have one of those. We have one in our caravan. Perhaps we'll get along.
And this fine woman, we just call her Cats, not her real name. And this gentleman is my new friend, Raphael.
She nods to all of you. She goes, "Well, please, come on into the group. Do y'all have horses?" I don't. I don't believe y'all did. Y'all were on foot, weren't y'all?
We were traveling in
We had the
wagons.
wagon.
Oh, that's yes. I am so sorry. We're actually joining up 2 caravans. God, I'm getting so old. I forget things. Yeah. So,
And for the sake of the role play-ish, I had already woofed or unwoofed back. So
okay. So
Oh,
you're
I
back. You're
forgot
back to
about
your
that.
normal self.
yeah,
Nick, are you
he
anyway?
I am.
human after he passed out or technically died. So
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, I lose all my stuff whenever I pass out.
Are you still dead?
No, I have 4 hit points.
Okay. Well, great. We have, Sister Wendy and some others in the wagons behind us that wanted to stay out of the fray, but maybe we could link up and travel together.
if anybody needs healing in your party, we can all bring them together, and I will do a group healing today. Because I'm sure some of us need healing too.
She goes,
Maybe not
oh,
the way.
well, yes. While we were able to fend off the goblins, as you can see, she points up the head. They had actually gotten us to surrender so they could take the our earnings for the season, which would have been tragic had that happened.
Would have been disastrous.
Indeed.
I'm glad we happened upon you. And I have my lute with me. Maybe I could do a little song, maybe juggle a little bit. It'd be good to knock the rust off.
Absolutely, she says. So she begins walking back into the group. Give me a second. I want to get the pictures into Foundry. I think it's more important that they're here. Just give me a second while I fix this.
Absolutely.
I should have thought.
You
about
guys you're gonna love this group. I hope Victor is. He's a cranky little fuck, but I like him.
Let me see. He's still around doing his, the whole helping us with our circus and choreograph. He's really good with that, and
He always was very good at that.
indeed. So where are y'all? Where are you coming
Very-
from? Where are you coming from exactly? She asked you.
We're coming from Nick. What was the name of that place again?
Elder
It's not
Wind.
where we're from. Hey, there's some pictures.
Yes, I'm working on them now. They're a little
Candy,
large.
We came from Felderwind.
Felderwind, that's it.
Who am I missing?
You are missing. No, you got her. You got him. You got her.
The Countess.
Oh, yeah,
I was
yeah.
missing the Countess.
yeah.
All right. So these are the all of the individuals, and each one will kind of these. I'll make them look slim in the images here.
These are the more important NPCs, not the less important NPCs that I don't even have names.
Well, it took y'all as players for a long time to have names too, so I don't know what that means exactly. All right. So anyway, this is kind of the individuals within the troop, and they each begin making their way to you and saying hi and things of that sort as you kind of get into their into the inner parts of their crew and stuff. And sorry, I'm still doing lots of juggling here. Okay, so she kind of gathers you all up towards the center of the caravan. Lady Wendy comes walking up with y'all too, and a lot of the trail hands are taking and the crew hands are taking care of the wagons and just the mundane stuff that needs to be cared for. You all kind of gather up towards the center, and she goes, "These are our troop, Blix, if you do remember." And she says, "Adelaide, that is the ballerina over here." And she's not in this outfit, but I want you to see her face. She's a very striking young lady, very, very pale. She kind of walks forward and she goes, "Hi," and she kind of you see she's very way she walks. Think of a model on a runway. She has a very purposeful walk about herself. Um, and she kind of walks up to the group, and she just does the whole hand out at an angle and shakes your hands or greets you or such. And then she goes through each one of them. Charlotte, she introduces her. She's the one with the blue skin, kind of the tiefling. Where is she? She's like over here. And she kind of walks up. She eyes all the gentlemen in the group and smiles and and she goes, "Hello, hello." She goes, I I knew the cards said something about strangers being amongst us, and well, I hadn't anticipated this. And Blix, I certainly don't consider you a stranger. And she kind of kneels down to you and takes your hands and gives you a big hug.
I've met you, Lady Ace, and I give her a hug.
Absolutely, and she has the whole aura smell of incense and patchouli, if you will, about her. And of course, she still has her face painted with the colors and stars around it and the moon. That's part of that's who she is. She's very into her mysticism, if you will. And this kind of continues on. And Jameson's here. He's the one that looks kind of like the this fella here with a hat on. He is like the ring, not the ringmaster, but he is basically the animal trainer, ringmaster. He deals with handling the animals, getting them in and out of when the circus is occurring. And he towers. He's quite large. He is a quite large gentleman, and he just says, "Hello. It's good to see you again, Blix, and I'm glad to see you are with your companions here and your friends. It's been some time. You have to regale us with your stories." Indeed. And of course, Victor, the short gnomish one, he's got his arms crossed. He's kind of looking at all of you, and he goes, "Hello." And that's all he says. And so it goes. Alba, the tabaxi in the group. You remember her as Snowflake. It was kind of the nickname the group gave to her because she's a very glamorous kind of person, but she doesn't do lots of physical labor, so she's kind of like the Snowflake, the glitter camper kind of person. But she kind of prances up, looks at all of you, takes a look at Pandora, and kind of eyes you up and down, Pandora, and kind of nods. And she takes her hat she has on, but she doesn't have the whole outfit you see right now. It's more browns and comfortables, but she does have a little hat on, and she takes it off and bows to all of you. And she goes, "It is my pleasure to meet you all." And then she kind of rubs her chest, where her fur is, and she kind of looks over all of you. "Perhaps we'll be lucky enough to have your companionship this evening as around our fire." And she kind of smiles.
Take it easy, girl.
And the Countess goes, "Well, enough of the pleasantries. We'll have plenty to talk about. We do need to get the wagons back on the way. I'm afraid the goblins are, while they've been defeated, they are known to be a bit vindictive. As y'all look around at the various bodies, this is one of the war banners the goblins were flying. It's got 3 little skulls on it, and it's got a rusty kind of flag with some dingy whites on it. You're not sure if the rusted red color, orangish color is actually dye, or maybe it was blood. You're not sure.
Do we recognize it?
No, you do not. Oh, hang on. One second, please.
I have a knowledge history 15 if anybody wants to throw in with me.
So what are you trying to determine? You just kind of you're just trying to see if you know the history of these bands. Yeah.
Yes.
So okay, what nation or what area is your character from again?
The Critz Dynasty?
Kryn.
Kryn Dynasty, yes.
All right. So you go ahead and make a history check if you don't mind.
Sure. And that'll be
Can I join them?
blind, right?
You can assist. One of you
Can I join them?
You can assist.
I will.
And yes,
Yeah,
blind.
I'm proficient.
Okay, so
Okay.
Got it.
you're assisting him, so he has advantage. That's all you have to do. That's all you need to do is roll. Catch, you don't need to roll
Cool.
anything if you're
Done.
assisting. Okay, Raphael. Yeah, you know them as the Long Striders. They're mostly a reconnaissance group for other larger war bands in the Kryn Dynasty. Often they're part of a war party, and they rapid, fast moving group. Although they don't normally have the two-headed giants, the Entons, in their company because they tend to be a bit slower. But the Long Striders are known for covering great distances and spying out potential threats for the war parties as they move through enemy areas.
So I turn to the rest of the party and go as Raphael, obviously. This is most interesting. This banner here is usually reserved for scouts that are fast moving and travel great distances and don't normally attack directly. They're more scouts, as I said. They are more reconnaissance based. What would they be doing attacking directly? And why would they be moving with a giant? This makes no sense.
And they're also on the western side of the Ashkeeper Peaks, which they don't normally venture into. Of course, as you know, there's a war going on, right? Or starting to heat up.
Yeah.
So you found out one of the bodies. Y'all do any more searching or investigation, or that's it?
Yeah, definitely would like to.
Yes. Probably want to investigate
Yep.
the bodies.
Okay, so who wants to do the investigations? Ask that you be trained in it, but anybody can assist somebody who's trained.
I'll
Does anybody-
investigate. Someone can give me advantage.
I'll help you out.
Okay. Anybody else investigate? You can investigate like the Entons' bodies, the area, the remains, things of that sort. So let's see what you got, Nick. All right. So yeah, Nick, you're kind of looking at the bodies. They're actually a bit emaciated. It looks like they haven't been eating well at all, and haven't had the supplies they need to keep well fed. You check their bags, and it's mostly like roots and tubulars that they have in there. Even the giant's bag, it's pretty empty. You see just mostly rubbish and a few skeletal remains of bones that it was gnawing on.
All right. As I'm going around looking at all of them, kind of look at Blix and look at the goblins that we killed. It's like they look a little rough for wear.
Blix, do you go and look?
Yeah, I'll go take a look. I'm not trained in investigation,
But just knowing your
But I'm
own,
not.
knowing your own people, they are definitely on the verge of starving. They're obviously quite hungry, and being winter up in the mountains, it's getting harder and harder to find food.
desperation drives us all. That would certainly explain what they're doing down here and attacking so uncharacteristically.
Should definitely keep an eye out for more things like this going on.
Absolutely, yes. doesn't bode well for the rest of our trip. We need to be on high alert.
Okay, so what do y'all wish to do at this time?
I can't hear you, Warren.
You got quiet.
What do y'all wish to do at this time?
Well,
Well, there was talk of healing.
yeah, there was talk of healing, and then I suppose I'd like to help repair the wagons after we're healed up.
Okay, we'll do this real quick. Something weird going on. So I'm like, some of y'all are not in the. Oh, I see the problem. I had a filter on. So, Blix, you're going to try to help repair the wagons?
After we heal.
Okay. So, who's going to do the healing?
I'm doing a mass heal.
Okay.
And so if anybody needs healing from the circus, they just need to get close enough.
Sure. You know, a few other people show up and kind of gather up. What's the area of effect?
30 feet.
Okay. Yeah, all the people who were injured in the battle with the goblins and were able to get up close. You can cast your spell through your wand.
Okay. Does anybody else need to get closer? I don't know whether Cats got hurt or not, but
No, I'm actually good. I'm full.
Anybody
Okay.
else?
I do.
I seldom by sitting back. Yeah. That cat is staring straight into the monitor.
casting.
Mr. Fancy
the
Pants.
Spell.
Lord Fancy.
Pandora, are you close enough, or do you not need any healing?
I am close enough, but I'll move closer.
Okay. Just wanted to
Oh,
make
I
sure.
just took a butt to the face.
You don't really need to worry that much about the map itself and your positioning when you're casting
Yeah.
the spell. Just say, I'm close enough to get healed. That's good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Role playing board game.
And
Right.
normal roll. There we go.
So, what does the magic from the wand look like when it engages?
It's a green burst of light that, like, once it gets to the end of its radius, it kind of just fog kind of rolls back in and everybody feels restored. Things mend up.
Okay. So y'all see your companion, Raphael, pull the wand out, kind of waves it around. This green energy kind of bursts out through him and past him, and you feel your wounds like magically stitch up and heal from the energy from the wand itself. Several people are like, stretching their arms, or they had a wound, or checking the scars. Not all signs of the damage took place. That's the critical part, and the rest just takes a little overnight resting to kind of recover from.
Thanks. I feel better.
Yes, much obliged.
I'm going to go help with the dragons now.
Okay, so those who are helping, if you can give me survival checks, please. It's kind of a group thing. So some of you can help with survival. There may be other things you can pitch in with and to help out.
I'll assist.
Okay. How do you want to assist?
Well, I'm gonna help, like fix whatever needs to be fixed, or lift up wagons, or help lift up wagons to get the wheels back on, or whatever needs to be repaired. Or...
Okay, that's good. So we have Nick and Blix doing
I am
survival
proficient.
checks. Okay.
I did a
Kat,
survival check.
yeah. So Kat, you don't have to do a survival check unless you're like going to go do physical labor to help. But there's other things you could help with to increase the odds of success for the group.
Well, I was actually skilled in survival. That's why.
Okay. So we have 2 successes, 1 failure. You need at least 3.
I
Hi.
Damn.
There's a third.
Okay.
He's very survivally, isn't he?
That's me.
It's
Oh,
Pandora.
shoot. Sorry.
All right. So the DC was a 15. So you all kind of help each other. Some are picking up the wagons, or rehitching the oxen, helping move creatures out of the way, checking some of the damaged wagon wheels and replacing them as needed. Within an hour, you're able to get everything back on the road and moving towards the Abbey. Now your train's gotten even longer. With your wagons and their wagons, you're well over 7 wagons as you're moving through. Of course, most of your wagons are empty, except for some common food supplies and clothing and things of that sort. As you make your way up,
What time of day is it?
I believe we started this actually towards the getting towards the evening as y'all ran into this group.
Yes.
Okay.
We should be heading up Campton.
You certainly could. So
Let's go and see about circling the wagons somewhere.
all right. So you're gonna, as you're going along the road, or are you going to scout ahead? How are you going to determine where you want to camp and circle up like they used to do in the old Western movies?
We can probably scout ahead. Let's see. You might want to go with me to go scout.
I'm
Okay.
gonna stay with circus wagons.
Okay. So what are you doing, Blix? You're going to stay with the circus wagons, you said?
Mm-hmm.
And Pandora, you said you were going to go?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Nick to scout.
Anybody else do anything, or y'all just kind of staying back with the wagons?
I'm chit-chatting and catching up with my friends.
All right.
Just general.
Staying back.
Okay. So Pandora and Nick kind of spur the horses on and move further into the up ahead into the trails, the trail leading along the mountain pass here as it winds in between the more jagged cliffs and rocky outcrops. The easiest route, of course, over the years, people pick their way through here for wagons and supplies. You notice eventually does make its way to the city of Talistan, which is mostly, Dragonborn, as they were exiled at one point. And they've kind of reside there now, mostly here. That's where the Empire had initially settled them as refugees, and they've just kind of taken to that area. But Nick and Pandora, y'all began scouting up ahead, like I said, back in the wagon train. Okay, are you staying with your wagons, or are you going to go socialize with the
Carnies.
carnies, if you will? Yeah, the carnival folk.
I'm going to hang back for the moment just because there's other people here. If everybody wants to kind of do their own thing, I'm good with sticking with the original party for the moment. I wouldn't mind meeting the carny.
You cut out there at the last second. You wouldn't mind meeting the carnival folk, and that's all I heard. Okay, so anybody else in the group wish to do anything within the carnival group? We can't hear you.
Is there anybody intelligent, like nerdy-ish in the group that's kind of obvious in that way?
Nerdy-ish in that way.
Yeah.
I'm obviously not that.
I'm talking about in the carnival group.
Well,
Because,
they all have their little quirks about them. Let me see here real quick.
I don't think any of them are very, very bookish.
Yeah,
We
I'm
never
very
met-
straightforward, so it's kind of hard for me to conversate with carnival people. I'm gonna study them because they have a tiefling, and I'm really interested.
I can just picture cats wandering around with like a little parchment and just following a tiefling scribbling notes.
Mm-hmm.
During battle, I wish I could do that with Raphael and with Nick, but that's kind of hard to do. So, moving on.
Probably the Madame Easley would be the most bookish of them all. She's one that, does the logistics and the planning and things of that sort. Matter of fact, you can see her up towards the front in the middle, one wagon back from the lead, and she's actually resorting all the stuff they had surrendered to the goblins and putting them back in the boxes and bags, and just generally going through that process. As you walk up behind the wagon, she kind of looks up in your direction. She goes, "Oh, Raphael, right?"
Correct. Would you like some help putting stuff away?
"Oh, please." And she kind of motions for you to jump into the wagon. You dismount and climb in.
Yep. Jump
right.
in.
All right. Well,
Start helping put away stuff.
As you know, the oxens are pulling the wagon, so it's kind of a comfortable walking pace, maybe a little brisk, but since you're going up, and up through the mountains, they're actually a little bit slower, so it's not that hard. You tie your horse off the back of the wagon, I guess, and you climb in, and you kind of sit down beside her, and she hands you. She just pushing piles of stuff over to you. Some of the stuff they surrendered was clothing, some baubles, circus wear, garments, fake jewelry, just the flashy stuff. It seems like she's already dealt with the more valuable treasure or monies they had acquired through their payments of entertainment at different destinations. And she goes, "Well, how did you come about meeting my good friend Blix?"
Happened to be in the same town being contracted for this particular assignment.
Felderin, if you remember correctly.
I'm sorry?
You were in the town of Felderin, if you need a reminder.
Yes. Felderin. The town of Felderin.
Oh, it's a sleepy little community. We've gone there before. They like entertainment, but they don't really tip that well, she says. They're hardworking folk, though, I understand.
I take your word for it. I was only there for a day or so.
Ah. So, I don't mean to pry, but what'd you do before? As she points down to your equipment and weapons.
Mostly
Really not
spending
doing
my
phrasing
time.
anymore, right?
Huh?
So we're really not doing phrasing anymore, right?
Cool.
She looks down at your equipment. Sorry.
Well, she's referring to his weapons and his, equipment for
No.
Phrasing.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
Equipment, boxes,
Elizabeth, your mind is always in the gutter. It's refreshing. It's consistent. Thank you. But nonetheless, she asks you.
Raphael responds with, actually, despite my outer appearance, I spend most of my time in libraries and pursuing scholarly pursuits.
Which, yes, but what I meant by my question was most men and women of the cloak and cloth, if you will, are usually quite happy in their towns or communities or chapels or such. And to see one out and about, geared up and as you are, it means you're a little bit more hands-on, and that's really all I was inquiring about. What drove you out here to this? But I don't mean to make you uncomfortable. I was just curious.
Yes, that is perhaps a story for another time.
Was I able to overhear any of that?
Make a perception check. Make it hidden, please.
I would think that the fact that I'm an Azamar and so my skin is shiny, silver sheenish, my eyes are different, would be a little bit more of a conversation topic, but
Well, you do notice the collection of individuals in the carnival are all very unique in their looks and styles. So maybe.
Yeah, she's used to it. I mean, not
she could be
particularly, but she's used to not showing surprise at odd physical appearance.
Fair enough.
And she's also very, very pale herself, like even paler than most goths are, But anyway.
She has no nose.
Yeah, you kind of heard the conversation going on.
Okay. I don't do anything about it. I just wanted to know.
Okay. Back up on the road. y'all do find like an area where you really can't get off the road just due to the nature of the hills, the cliffs, and the bluffs and things of that sort. Think of yourself like in the the canyons, if you will, leading up to the mountains, or where a runoff has occurred and such. But it's covered with snow. To take the wagons off the road would be dangerous. So you're pretty sure that this is probably a good hour, hour and a half, and it's getting darker and darker as the sun is beginning to vanish behind the mountains. It's probably the best place you're going to get, you think, but you're definitely not going to be able to get off the roads just due to the nature of trying to get these large wagons back onto the road.
All right. So discuss that with Pandora and everything. And it looks like this would be our best option here. Let's go ahead and go back and get the wagons.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. You both go back, or one of y'all stay up?
I think we should stick together.
Yes.
Okay. So y'all head back towards the wagons. See the tracks your horses have left in the snow that had fallen earlier up here. It's not snowing right now, though, thankfully. And you make your way back to where the wagons are, and you see them lumbering up the roads. They're a good about 15 minutes out to where you are. You can either wait for them to catch up with you, or you can make your way back to them.
Just gonna wait for them to catch up with us.
All right. Anything y'all talk about while you're waiting?
So how do you like this cold weather?
Don't like it.
No. Yeah.
I'm ready to get under some furs.
Yeah. It's definitely gonna get a lot colder.
So some time passes, and the wagons finally catch up to where you are, and you see Jamison is currently walking with the lead wagon. He's got his hands wrapped around the reins of the oxen. He's just kind of walking up with them. Give me 1 second, please. He's kind of walking forward. He's a Goliath, so he's like a half giant, so he's quite large. This role fits him well. And he kind of looks up at you and again says in that voice, "What? Did you find a spot for us to pull off?"
Yes, there's not really to pull off, but just an area up ahead that looks like it'll be good for all of us to situate ourselves.
Very well. And he kind of keeps leading the oxen along. After a few more minutes, y'all manage to make it to the area where the road gets kind of wider, so you could actually put two tracks of wagons on either side of the road and kind of form a circle, more like a oblonged oval, if you will, with everything in the center.
That works.
All right, so y'all begin, maneuvering wagons around so that, trying to at least get some kind of position where you can be in a more secure position on the roads, if you will. And some of the other folks begin building some fires in the center. Some do some clever maneuvering of cloths and other things to create like shelters in the wagons so they can warm up in the wagons. Some actually put some winterized tents out between the wagons and kind of sleep in that area. But in short order, there's the aroma of food being cooked, kind of wafting up through the air. Off in the distance, you hear what sounds like wolves somewhere. But that cold breeze this evening has started to pick up, and the moons are rising up and over in the distance as the night continues on. Somebody has obviously recently captured some venison. So what they're cooking is a very rich tasting kind of meat. And it's highly seasoned. You can think like a Louisiana kind of seasoning rub, if you will.
I would like to slide on over to Alba and ask if she wants to keep me warm tonight.
She goes, oh, so she's the pretty little furry one, isn't she?
Yes.
And she goes, "It has been some time," she says to you.
It has been some time. I've learned new tricks.
Oh, she says. She goes, So, anybody special in your life since you've been out and about traveling?
You know my heart beats only for you.
Oh, that's sweet, but I know it's not true, girl. Don't lie to me.
No, no one's special.
You know, she's a very talented singer, and anybody who wishes to have her companionship, besides you, perhaps, and a few other within the circus itself, she's rather expensive. She has very, very expensive taste. So y'all's kind of conversation kind of goes on for a bit, and she says, "Where, where how all have you been? I know we had left you up in the Marrow Valley, but beyond that, really didn't know where else you had gone. You've been missed, though."
Oh, thank you. I've been all over, and I ended up in Felderwin Village for, oh gosh, at least the last 6 months or so. It's a quiet little place. I was just playing in one of their tavern for tips, and boy, howdy, they do not tip well. So,
It's true. It's true.
so I found this opportunity for getting out on the road again, maybe earning some coin, and I said, let's do it.
On the road again.
How have the I get lots of stares when I travel, as she's as you can tell, because of course I don't shy away from the attention. Oftentimes it's beneficial for me, you know. But how are you being treated in the Empire, though? That was one of my main concerns when you left us. We're family here. We all respect each other and depend on each other, even when the times are hard.
I haven't been abused, but I haven't been treated very well either. I don't feel welcome here. It's not home.
She leans forward and quietly goes, "With your friends you're with, or you mean just in the Empire in general?"
Just in the Empire in general. I think most of these guys are okay.
Well, sounds like you found another family.
Well, I haven't known them quite as long as I've known all of you, but perhaps.
All right. So, the rest of you, you kind of maneuvering around, getting your positions. Jameson walks over to you, Nick, and he hands you, which would probably be like an arm, an upper arm of the deer, and kind of holds it out to you. It doesn't look that big in his hand, but when you grab it, you're like, yeah, it's actually a big hunk of meat. And he kind of sits down next to you, pulls out a small dagger, and he cuts a chunk of it off, takes it with his hand, leaves the rest for you. He starts gnawing on it and chewing on it, and not too worried about manners. He's holding the meat on the knife, he's like pulling it away, chewing on it. And he kind of just nods to you. Doesn't say anything. Just kind of nods to you.
All right. The venison's cooked.
Yeah, it's medium rare.
Okay. I get a knife out and I cut myself a little piece. Yeah, as I'm showing you, whatever, I ask if you've ever played Snakes and Foxes. I have a game maybe after we eat if you want to play.
No, I have not played that. Do tell me. Do tell me. About this time, you also see a little gnome kind of sit down, and he says, "You can't hog that all for yourself, Jameson. You have to share." Jameson kind of looks at him, one-eyed. He goes, "Of course." And he kind of nods you to hand him the leg.
I do so.
And he takes hold of it, both of his hands, and he's like, and he kind of lays it on the cloth next to him, and he pulls out a little knife, starts cutting some meat off of it. He goes, Jameson, we do have plates and things of that sort. We're not savages, And Jameson goes, well, we're roughing it, I thought I would. Don't worry about it, Victor. I've got it. He looks at you and
I
he goes,
continue eating my piece.
and so goes the conversation between these two. They nitpick each other here and there, but it's all in fun and jest. But you can tell Victor's a little grumpy puss, if you will.
I set the board game and I started explaining it to him.
Okay, so what is this game? I'm not even familiar with this game.
Snakes and Foxes. It's kind of an escape games. Imagine like Chutes and Ladders.
Okay.
So similar to that, you've got dice and just little tokens. It's on a board, and you're basically trying to escape from the little labyrinth that's on the board without being captured by the snakes or the foxes.
Ah, all right. Becky, I see you talking, but I can't hear you.
Although one little trick of it is, in order to win, you have to cheat. So.
Becky, you're still muted. We haven't heard a word you've said for a while now.
I think she might be on the phone.
Okay. All right. You have to cheat, you said sometimes?
You have to cheat in order to win.
What kind of game is that? He says.
Well, no, I don't tell him that.
Oh. All right. So you'll kind of set this up and you'll begin playing it. After a bit, a few of the caravan hands kind of sit down. And are y'all wagering, or are you just kind of just making it fun?
It's just fun.
All right. Yeah, kind of play around, and people are laughing and having a good time. Bundled up in their cloaks, the fire off to the sides, keeping you warm. Every once in a while, somebody kind of meanders off and comes back with some wood and throws it on there. They're obviously scouting around and about near the area, grabbing scraps of wood from the low-growing trees and scrubs, plants that grow here, and feed the fire. This goes on for some time. Anybody else wish to do anything?
I want to find Noma, or Snowflake, the other tabaxi, and just kind of ask, how do you find this group?
Yeah, Alba. Yeah, you see her and Blix slowly making their way back to one of the other wagons. Do you press your conversation? They're not too far away. You see they've gotten up, their bellies are full, and they're making way away from the main group, and they're just kind of talking and chatting. You walk up?
Yeah.
Okay. She kind of stops, turns around, her ears kind of hear you approaching the snows, and she kind of turns around. And you're barefoot, right? You're in your claws. You have boots on. I don't remember which.
Barefoot.
Yeah, she is too. Okay. She kind of stops and she goes, "Oh, hello." Kind of looks at you. So this is your what? She goes, "Blix, this is one of your friends, correct?"
This is my best friend in the whole world. This is my Pandy.
Pandy. She kind of walks up to you and she goes, "That's a cute name. Blix likes to give nicknames,
Yeah, my name is Pandora.
It's a pleasure. What can I do for you?
I was just curious as to where you came from. I don't come across many of our kind that often.
Actually, I don't know where I originally came from. The Countess found me at a very young age, and unfortunately I was very amnesic and didn't remember much of my past. I was but a babe at the time, and mostly starved. I was very fortunate. I know the people in the town thought I was some kind of were creature when they found me. And she rescued.
What town was that?
Of course you can ask these questions. 1 second. Let me pull all that up.
I pat Alba's hand sympathetically.
That's all right. Give me 1 second. I got to pull the map up for that. I don't have it in my notes, unfortunately.
You didn't know there was going to be a quiz, did you?
Oh, there's always a quiz, but sometimes I can remember things, but this I can't remember, unfortunately.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
I always expect them from the players. I've watched Critical Role where the players start asking Matt a question, and he's like, he has to go through his papers. All right, here I am. 1 second. And it's going to be... She found me a long time ago in Port Damali, which is on the Menagerie Coast, far to the south of here. Actually, that was actually before.
I've always wanted to go there.
That was actually before her actual Countess traveling circus really began. It was like the early stages of it. I don't remember much about it. I just know it's just the weather is always warm and comfortable, and the breezes and the beaches. Oh, and some of the resorts are so nice. Some of the rich of the empire go south there during the winter. Although I have to say, as we all know, really only up in the mountains are the winters in the empire even remotely rough. Mostly down in the valley, as you know, they're quite comfortable. But Port Damali is really a nice place, and I
Metagaming for just a moment. Alba is probably why I took such an immediate shine to Pandora.
there you go.
We have similar stories.
Hang on, where'd it go? All right. All right. And she goes, as you're kind of talking, she goes, "Why don't you join us in my wagon and we can talk?" And it, she kind of leans forward and she kind of looks around. She goes, "I received a gift from a rich noble a long time ago, and it really makes my wagon comfortable at all times. He didn't like to sweat and be uncomfortable, so he gifted this to me. So whenever I saw him, and albeit I haven't seen him in many years since, but come, you'll see." And she kind of turns and skips off into the snow towards her wagon. And you get to it, and it's one of the more brighter wagons. And it's also one of the more frou-frou. It's got lace and other type scarves hanging down the back of it. And it's got a thick, heavy curtain that kind of leads into it. And she kind of pushes it open. And there's a low, warm, glowing light from inside of it. And it truly is like the den of a gypsy. It's got all kinds of comfortable furniture inside of it. It is just decked out, and a warmth spills out of it. And her lights are these glowing spheres that she's like drapes scarves over, so they give off these different colors and shapes, kind of move around about. One of the spheres is slowly rotating in the room, giving this nice kind of romantic, comfortable cottage kind of feels to the interior of her wagon. And she quickly pulls up into it just naturally of her own racial abilities. The climb into it's quite easy. And she goes, "Oh my Lord, I forgot." And she reaches down and helps you up in, Blix, because it's quite a climb up. And yeah, once all three of you get in, it is a very warm and comfortable, cozy environment. It's like there's no bad weather outside. And she closes the heavy curtains leading into the back of her wagon, and the sounds from outside and the men folk, if you will, talking and chatting outside gets muffled. And she goes, "Tea," as she begins fixing tea for herself and was more than willing to share.
Yes, please.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
She goes, "We've been traveling for some time," and she begins the conversation talking about her travels and stuff. Back up to the other group. So Raphael, you and Madam easily have been, you finished packing the things away, getting the equipment set up, had some time to kind of socialize and eat with the rest of the group. You find yourself once again met up by her by the fire, and she kind of sits down beside you, and again wants that kind of prim, proper kind of stiffed back kind of posture about herself. And she goes, I thank you for your help. I know it's tedious putting all those things away, and all those scarves and clothing have to be folded and put back up properly, but it's important as we get to our destinations, knowing where our supplies, our clothing, and our costumes are helps us put the show on in a much more organized manner.
Of course.
It's as important as organizing that as it is to keep a library, if you will, organized.
Everything has its place and everything in its place.
That's a good saying. I'll have to remember that. She kind of goes, "Well, and she then kind of, somebody walks by with some plate with some food on it, and she raises her hand up and they hand it to her. You can tell there's like this uncomfortable silence there for a moment as she was trying to decide what she was going to say or talk about, but the food's a welcome distraction apparently. As she, puts them in her mouth and takes the forks and knives and cuts it and starts eating on it. And of course, everything you're doing and breathing is this cold, frosty air kind of coming out. But the fire, here in the center, keeping you warm.
Right. And Raphael's just kind of mostly paying attention to the scroll that he got from that treasure chest from the lost temple,
Yes.
the hidden temple.
Yes.
Trying to puzzle it out. So,
Yeah, y'all had several items from that you haven't had a chance to do anything with yet. You
Right.
had the iconic or the iconic like weapons that were symbolic of a sword, and I believe it was an axe, wasn't it?
There was a crossbow. No, not a crossbow, a bow.
A bow and a sword. Yeah.
Yeah. But what with scrolls being something he's interested in,
I do believe
he'd
I gave you
naturally gravitate towards that.
I do believe I gave you that information, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
Yeah.
I think so.
I should have. I don't have that in front of me right now. I'll have to go look for it, but I do believe I did. I'm trying to see if I can find that list real quick. It might be in chat if I haven't cleared it.
Did we lose Pandora?
I don't know.
She might have had to go to the bathroom or something.
It looks like she's still there, but just not showing on video. There she is.
Sorry, I'm here.
Ah. Oh, you
I
know
could
what?
take care of your stuff.
I forgot that I had set my Zoom to hide non-video participants. So when anyone goes video off, they just disappear from my Zoom chat. My bad.
Yeah, I don't see it here. We'll have to dig up through our notes. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Unless one of y'all have it in your notes, we'll have to find it.
What was the question?
He was wanting to know what the scroll was, and I can't find my notes right now on that. That's why I've started using this tool, because I was using Microsoft Word and stuff, and it just wasn't working out.
It's a scroll of protection.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Maybe it's in Google Doc instead. I don't know. All right.
No, even if it's a scroll of protection, I'm still trying to decipher the elements or something like that. Just scholarly pursuits type of thing.
All right.
Being the nerd that he is.
Let me see here. Yeah, I don't see it. I'll have to look for it. Anyway, so the evening progresses unless any of you have anything you wish to do. Anybody?
Are we gonna set up watches for this camp?
Yeah, we should definitely do.
You're all balled up in a fur ball back in the other wagon.
Well, yeah, I meant watches for other people to do because I am comfortable.
Rub it in, why don't you?
Like, I'm gonna tap out on watches.
I couldn't hear you. What? Chris? What were you going to do, Chris?
Me or
Yeah.
cat?
Cat. No, you. Sorry, Pandora.
Oh, I said count me out for watches tonight. I'm soft and cozy
Okay.
in this wonderful wagon.
Okay. Cat
Yeah, definitely.
on watch.
Yes.
Okay. Raphael
I'll take watch.
and Nick.
Yes, I will do watch as well.
Okay.
Y'all are all making me feel bad, but I'm staying.
All right.
You play your girl. It's all good.
Can you give me each of you do a survival check and make sure it's hidden when you roll, or blind roll, please. Raphael, Kat, and Nick.
You said survival?
Survival, and make sure it's blind.
And Pandora too. Pandora, you said you were taking a watch, right? Oh, okay, good.
She's saying.
I get the fur cuddle puddle.
All right. So spaced out during the evening. Watches are probably no more than 30 minutes to an hour long. Sometimes you're grouped up with somebody from the caravan, but it doesn't take too long. And all of your watches progress pretty uneventfully. Nick, towards the end of the evening, you're called up on your watch, and you just kind of hang out there. And Jamison, he's there with you, and he's kind of standing up on one of the boulders nearby. He's kind of looking out over the environment, not even trying to be
Inconspicuous.
stealthy or inconspicuous. Thank you. Not even trying to be inconspicuous. He's just standing there. The fire is burned out, but there is a slight glow of embers within the center of the wagons. The wind's biting. It's kind of picked up a little bit, and there's just a slight amount of flurries in the air, mostly because it's being picked up by the wind and kind of just reblown, And he kind of looks down at you, and he goes, "How good are you with your weapons?" He kind of says loudly out as he speaks down to you.
I just kind of look at him. It's like, I can handle my own.
I tried my hand at the cell sword life. It wasn't for me, really. What are you charging these days for your services?
It really just depends on what we're doing. Different things require different charges.
You said you were going to the Abbey?
Yes, we're currently escorting the wagons up to the orphanage.
Lady Wendy, huh?
Yes, she's asked for our assistance.
I really don't know her that well. I've never met her, actually, I should say. He slides down off the boulder, kind of lands right beside you, looks around. He's got a big club at his side, you notice. And the roads haven't been that safe lately. These wars are not making for peaceful times or profitable times for our business, at least.
It's definitely understandable. It's definitely troubling times.
Yeah. He kind of looks out around the environment.
Yeah, I keep an eye out, just kind of looking around.
I'm so silly, Matt.
Give me 1 second. One. So I'm trying to find something here real quick. All right. He goes, well, we were basically making our way up to the Abbey for our wintering. Spend a few months there as the harshness of the winter passes. They've always been nice to us, I have to say. They've always been nice to us. Have you ever been there yourself?
I have not. This will be my first time heading over to the Abbey.
Well, the food's simple, but it's filling for sure. Some of the work you and I will be doing there probably. How long do you plan to stay there, by the way?
We're not quite sure.
What did they? Why is the Lady Wendy bringing? He kind of takes a look down at your weapons as if you're a type up there anyway.
Well, like you said, things have been kind of interesting in these parts, just with all the different raids and different things going on in the area, and she just needed our protection.
Well, that's good. I'd hate to see one of the sisters get injured. Making the trip up there. It can be dangerous, but especially now.
Most definitely.
All right. So he kind of turns around and he starts heading back. He goes, the sun will be up soon. You want to help me get the fire going again?
Sure, I'll help with that.
All right. Make a survival check real quick.
You want it blind?
No, you can make it public. All right. Yeah. So no problem. Between him and you, you're able to gather up enough wood and you get the fire going again. Uh, you've had your rest already, and you find that all of you are woken up as somebody knocks on the wagon, shakes your tent, shakes you in your sleeping bag, whatever, and each of you are woken up and says it's time to get packed up and ready to hit the road again. And as that's all occurring, Jameson kind of looks over you and he kind of leans over. Can you cook?
I can hold my own. I've been known to make a few things, but out here on the road is pretty basic stuff that we do.
Wow. As I'm just making a simple meal soup, kind of oatmeal, if you will, for everybody to have. Put some spices in it. Basically, it's a cinnamon flavored oatmeal. It'll keep your gut warm. And he's making a big batch of that. And slowly but surely, people come by with bowls and take the food. And he kind of shovels it out to each person, ladles it into their bowls for them. It's pleasant, it's filling, but it's not like astronomical in its flavor or anything, right? And shortly after that, you find yourselves the wagons being pulled forth. Are y'all going to go in the lead this time, or are you going to allow the circus to take the lead still? The wagons, which wagon train?
I think we
I feel
We
like
can always
there's-
mix them. We can always mix.
All
I
right.
didn't catch that, but I was thinking the circus maybe should go first and then Sister Wendy's wagons.
Yes.
What y'all want to do? Okay. All right. So the wagons head out again. With the high winds last night, or the gusting winds, the snow's kind of banked up onto the rocks on the right hand side of the trail. It's not an encumbrance or anything like that. It's just a noted feature that the wind has blown snow off to one side and it's piled up here and there. And the wagons begin their way traveling. Anybody particularly want to be in the front or the rear or in the middle? Just type your name in chat and put front, rear, or middle next to it. Somebody drew a big old thing on the map here.
Yeah, that was for the spell.
Okay.
Healing.
Yeah. Oops.
I'm not certain how I get rid of it.
I'm trying right now,
Okay.
but I can't seem to find it in the map. It's not like weird. There it is. It was underneath y'all. There it goes. All right. All right. So yeah, the wagons head out. Who do we have here? Okay. Catch, you're going to take the rear guard? All right. All right. We'll take a 10-minute break. Let all of you go to the restroom and stuff of that sort, okay?
Cool.
Cool.
So, Nick, how far are y'all going to scout ahead, do you think?
Probably just
Thank
like
you.
5 minutes ahead.
5 minutes? So another day has passed, and you find yourselves, pretty far up ahead. Jameson's kind of stayed back and kind of allowed you to scout ahead. There was one thing you did notice, though, Nick, on Jameson. He had a thick kind of leather strap around his neck, kind of coming down, with a pendant on it, like hanging down. And it had a crescent with a circle above it and a little triangle below that. Kind of caught your eye, and he kind of lifted his shirt up and it went back down to his shirt when he was doing some work. Didn't really notice that you had seen that, although you think you've seen that symbol before somewhere else. That's the reason why it kind of caught your eye.
Do I recognize it?
Maybe. What would you like to do? You can make a history check if you like. Or something else you can think of.
I do like an insight or
Insight, huh? So, there was an awesome chart I found one time that had all these skills and how they related. Insight's about intentions.
okay, so just more of a history.
Yeah. Or you could do a just here real quick. Maybe a just a general knowledge, like intelligence check, or just history. I don't know if you're trained in it or not, but it may not really matter if you're not. Wow. Yeah. With that roll, you know that's the symbol of the Golden Grin. The Golden Grin has been around since, the Dark Years. And you know they're a secret guild, often of travelers and entertainers, who try to inspire common folk, plant seeds of discontent where needed, and rebellion amid tyranny when they have a chance, if it exists in an area. You also know that each of the members are known as Grinners, and they pledge to uphold the ideal that every individual has the power to change the world. And they operate throughout Taldore.
You say Golden Grin or Golden Grim?
Grin, Grin. Let me, the symbol looks like this. It's on the main map right now. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
That's what
Yeah,
the symbol. That's what the symbol looks like.
You said it's a group that like plants seeds of like discord and stuff like that.
What you know of them is that they're one of the ways that news travels from areas. They're also individuals who, back in the dark times, or when the lands were ruled by the tyrant Drossig, and a hidden society of, they are a hidden society of muses, storytellers, bards, and folks who had a symbol to oppose the despotic king. They've endured ever since, and have slowly but surely spread their influence throughout the areas.
Okay.
So, Numenor Dressage was a human necromancer and king of the kingdom of Dressage. There you go. It was some time ago when he ruled the area. So, as you
Eye on him.
do what now?
I definitely want to keep an eye on him.
All right. As you're making your way up through the mountains, getting closer and closer to the Abbey, you assume you're not too far off. Jameson makes his way up to where you are, kind of leading up, and he goes, "So what news do you have of the lands to the south of here, where you've come from? Last we heard that the Kryn dynasty have been mounting forces up in the Ashkeeper Peaks and such to the south of us."
Yeah, there's been a few incursions with them coming in and just little raids here and there. The army is mostly taking care of some of that stuff.
Well, I know the Ashgard garrison to the north of us has, from what I've been told, has had several legions of the Empire troops dispatched in that direction. Apparently, it's heating up quite a bit up there.
Yeah, there definitely seems to be a buildup of something. I really haven't been a part of that in a while, so I wouldn't know exactly what they're doing.
Oh, that's right. You said you served, didn't you?
I did, poor time.
Mustered out, or
Just conflicts of interest.
he kind of looks at you and goes, you deserted?
No, I resigned my commission.
Okay. It happens. I hear now you can't resign until this war's over. So I guess you got out at the right time. And he kind of pats you on the back. Keeps walking.
Yes, some of us are luckier than others.
Now you round up ahead. The wagons are still, making their way up this last bluff hill, if you will. And before you do see the Abbey kind of rising up ahead of you with a. It has a stone wall built around, but the stone wall is really probably only 5 or 6 feet tall. That rims the perimeter of the Abbey itself. It's not really meant to. Well, maybe it's a little higher, but 8 feet tall. Certainly wouldn't withstand a full-on attack. The trail leading up to it, though, is cluttered with tracks all along the edge of the road, beside the road, all lead up to it. And you see what appears to be some smoke coming from the courtyard of the Abbey. And you see figures moving along the exterior of it and by the entrance from this distance. And Jameson goes, that's a lot of traffic. You don't normally see that. Just kind of looking down the footprints.
I want to kind of check out the footprints too, see if it's anything that may look out of the ordinary, other than like human or animal.
Make an inspection. Huh. Well, some are booted. Some are barefoot. Humanoid tracks. Ooh, there's a couple of big ones here too that are these might be orcs, goblins, kobolds maybe, and really large footprints. Not as large as the giants, but they're like double the size of your foot for sure.
All right, I want to signal to the rest of my group to keep their eyes peeled.
All right.
Aren't you still way ahead of us?
Yes.
Okay, so it was me and Jameson were out scouting ahead?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I thought we were just at the front. Okay.
About 5 minutes out, you said.
Yes. I asked Jameson what he thinks about the tracks.
They're not normally in this area. He kind of points up. He goes, and as he kind of points up, you see the shapes moving around outside near the main entrance to the Abbey, with this, tall, church-like structures behind the walls. He goes, that seems like a rather large individual by the gates. And you do realize now it's towering above the walls. From this distance, those gates are probably, the walls themselves, like I said, about 8 foot tall, but this thing is higher than that. I think
How far away are we from the Abbey?
I think they might be in trouble. What?
How far away are we from the Abbey?
Well, you rounded a bluff, and then the trail kind of arches up and around and back towards the Abbey at a slight angle. You see tracks all along it. Probably a quarter of a mile out.
Okay, so a little bit of distance. I kind of like rein in my horse or whatever until Jameson's like, we may need to go get the others.
All right. I'll have the caravan stop where they are. And he hoofs it back down the trail to them. Y'all hear Jameson come up, kind of running back into the camp. He goes, hold, 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 stop the wagons. And everybody, pulls the wagons and the oxen to stop. And he finds you, Blix, and he goes, your friend, the pale skin one, Nick, he's asked that y'all come up above. Something seems out of order at the Abbey. It's about a quarter of a mile out.
Let's go.
You can see it over the bluff.
I'm coming, Nick.
Wait a minute. What were you saying? Phrasing?
Don't go chasing waterfalls, okay?
No.
Oh my God. Y'all got me.
All right. Y'all all gather up. Don't all volunteer information at one time, folks. Unmute your mics. Talk. I mean, I can talk all by myself, but it's nice to have some other people talk.
I'm already headed up to meet up with Nick, and I hope the others are following.
I'm following
Nora?
I'm
behind
sure
you.
we're dispersed far enough that at least a yell would be needed.
Sorry, you cut out. I couldn't understand you.
I said we're probably dispersed far enough along that, a yell would be needed to make its way down.
Sure,
Well,
Jameson.
Well, I thought that Jameson went down the line.
He did.
Okay. All right, cool. So I get out and I'm going to go help, but my girlfriend needs some help for a minute. I'll be right back.
Kate?
Okay, so I'm mostly just kind of sitting back, taking notes. I might have a few questions for the TP, but that's pretty about much of it. I'm just kind of.
So you're going to stay back in the caravan?
Yeah, I'm going to stay back in the caravan just because we don't know what's going to happen. So we have everybody in the middle.
Jameson
and the front,
tells you
and-
they're a good 5 minutes up the road. All right. So the rest of you head up to the bluff. As you kind of get up there, Nick, are you still standing proudly up there on the edge, or are you retreated? What are you doing?
No. Once I saw the guy in front of the thing and saw the tracks and everything else, I would have definitely not put myself up on like a hill or anything like that. I'm gonna be down if there's any kind of like trees or shrubbery or something. I'm gonna kind of hang out by there, just out of the sight of the Abbey, waiting for everyone to get back to me.
As y'all make your way up to where Nick is, you see he's kind of pulled off the road, and he's kind of back behind one of the cliffy bluffs that have come to the edge of the road, kind of drop off up against that, getting some shelter, possibly some cover too. You see your companions coming up.
All right, I kind of wait for them and motion for them to keep the noise down and then come over.
I am as stealthy as possible.
So y'all make your way to where Nick is. You can't see over the hill because he's kind of like retreated back.
So I tell him that as me and Jameson were traveling or whatever, we started seeing a lot of tracks in the ground, stuff like that. Looked like there had been a lot of things going in and out. After checking out the actual tracks, it seemed like there may not be just regular people going back and forth. Some definitely giant type feet. I also saw by the gate, which appeared to be a very large creature, which, as I understand it, is not normal for this abbey. So there may be some dangers up there. I figure we could probably either scout, see if we can go check out, see what's going on up there.
I can sneak on up and get a closer look if you like.
You report back to us?
Yes, I am very sneaky.
All right, sneaky, sneaky.
Okay. Nick, you want to give me a... not Nick, I'm sorry.
Blix?
Blix, you want to give me a stealth check. Where's my paper here? Okay. And I need to make a roll. Give me 1 second, please.
Yeah, progress.
Okay. So, you begin making your way up the road, Blix, and off to the side. So, how are you approaching this? So, the trail kind of branches away from where your group is, winds its way up towards the Abbey, and then it begins doing that switchback process of getting higher and higher up the trail to where the Abbey is. It's a good... When the switchbacks start, it's a good 700 feet of a climb to where the Abbey is.
And we've got pretty good snow here.
Yeah, I'm going to send you to your chat. 1 second here. Yeah, I'll just do that. I'm going to send you a private... You're in Telegram, aren't you?
I am on Telegram.
Actually, I've already opened Facebook. I'll send it to you on Facebook. Because I don't want everybody else to see this yet, so that's why I'm doing this.
My computer's struggling, so I'm going to do that on the phone.
Sure. There we are. And we want... Alright, so a message to you. That's kind of what it looks like. Elizabeth, do you see that?
Uh-huh.
And then your approach is along the southern side of the complex, and I'll send you a partial image of the map. So you can see that switchback on the trail that's kind of heading up to it.
Uh-huh. Okay, I see.
Okay. And so that switchback is going along, and you'll see the gate entrance on the western side. That's kind of where these tall, large, goblinoid creatures are standing. If you want to, you make a nature check to see if you recognize them or recall what they are.
I am going to do that.
Okay.
And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hug the Abbey side. This is at the Abbey, right?
Yes, this is the Abbey.
Yeah. I'm gonna hug the Abbey side of the trail, like up against the wall, so that somebody looking out over the trail from above would be less likely to spot me.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna quietly and slowly, cautiously make my way as close as I can, listening to see if I can hear anybody talking the whole way.
Okay.
But I only speak Common and Goblin, so if it's some other language, I won't know what they're saying.
One more second here.
Man, I want that dance party on my character so bad.
I'm gonna drop a couple of images on the battle map for y'all, so y'all can see some stuff here. So I didn't plan too well for showing y'all the images, and I do apologize for that.
And they have a churchyard.
That one you can't really see because it's terrible. Let's see.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one you sent to Messenger, right?
Yeah.
That was a tricky one.
Alright, so if I do this, I think, and right click here.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's what it looked like on Messenger.
So are y'all able to see that structure on the map?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then just to kind of give you all the idea of what the weather's like, there's another one here that I've put on the map that you can see. That's the kind of the overall coldness that you're dealing with. Okay. Anyway, you're making your way up. You see, so after all of that, as you see this and the movement along the western side where the entrance is, what do you wish to do at this point, Blix?
Do I see anybody? Do I hear anybody talking? Can I get a sense of what's going on up
You
there?
kind of made your way up at least one of the switchbacks. Now you can climb up and over, doing a shortcut to get up there.
Yeah, I see what you mean, but
From this distance, you can tell they're goblinoids. There's orcs. There seems to be some really short creatures. Could be goblins. You're not sure from this distance. But the really large creatures. Did you give me a? Yeah, gave me a nature check. He did. Yeah, those are ogres.
okay. And
There are
do
two ogres moving around about by the gate.
am I able to get a count of how many creatures I've seen?
Make a perception check, please. Yeah. So you know there's one ogre inside moving around. Beyond that, you really can't see because the walls are probably too high. The only reason you know he's there is because he's slightly above the walls. Like I said, the walls are about 8 feet tall. There's a ogre on the outside, and you see a couple orcs kind of near the entrance also kind of moving around.
Is there any sign at all, any indication of the human inhabitants that are usually at the Abbey?
No, you don't see any. They're moving around. And you know,
I'm good.
because you've been here at least once with the circus, that they bring the wagons up to the Abbey. They enter in the main courtyard area. They line the wagons up, and within the Abbey itself, there are always individuals working at the gardens, the northern side of it. And there's usually one or two outside working on repairing the walls or doing other such tasks, but there's none. There's just ogres and orcs on the outside right now.
Okay. I'm going to sneak back to the party.
1 second, please.
Mhm.
Make a stealth check, please. So you begin making your way down the switchbacks. Some ice catches your foot, and your feet come out from under you, and you desperately reach to kind of grab yourself from falling. Make you do a strength check to like grab on and hold yourself up on something nearby, or you can try an acrobatics check to quickly right yourself. Which one?
Acrobatics.
Yeah. So you go to slide. Your arms kind of cartwheel a little bit, and you slide like you're surfing for a few seconds, and you come to a stop. You look back. They haven't seemed to have noticed the sudden erratic movement from you.
Thank you. All right. Do you want another stealth check? I'm going to carry on.
Carry on.
Okay.
So what do you report to your group when you make it back? Y'all see Blix coming around the corner where you are.
It's not good, guys. There's no sign of the sisters. There's no sign of the orphans. There's no sign of the workers that you would usually find at the Abbey. There are orcs. There are ogres. I'm not sure how many, but it looked to me like the entire Abbey's overrun. I think we need to go and talk to Sister Wendy and see what she would like for us to do at this point.
That sounds good. We should probably also prepare to escort them away from all this.
Yes.
In the circus. I don't think this is something we want to get them involved with.
Yeah, they don't need to be a part of this.
You make your way back to the caravan.
Yeah.
Lady Wendy's actually now standing up front, anxiously watching as y'all come walking up. So, what's going on? I heard from Jameson. There's looks like there are large creatures by the Abbey. That's not good. She says.
I put on my best bad news face, and then I wait for. I wait for Nick to explain.
Yes, I tell her that as me and Jameson.
Say it as Nick.
As me and Jameson approached the Abbey, we noticed some tracks that didn't seem right, and we saw some taller creatures there. When I sent Jameson back.
What do you mean taller?
Ogres. When he means ogres.
Don't eat the children.
I know. We've got to get in there and rescue them if we can, but I didn't even see any sign that they're there.
It may have been overrun. Just from things that have been going on. Nobody may be there right now. They may have taken it over as like an outpost.
They do have cellars. Maybe they retreated to the cellars. They are fortified.
Hopefully they're hiding or that they've made it out. But either way, I think we need to go in and check.
We could attempt to rescue. If you can tell us where these cellars are and the best way to get to there.
She goes, well, you enter the main gates, and there's a large structure almost immediately to the south of the main gate. You'll see a large fireplace that kind of goes along the western wall there, and some windows that look into it. They're stained glass windows. That's not where you're going to enter, but that's where you want to go. There's another structure inside this that has the higher fortified walls. There's a double doors in the courtyard that lead into the inner bailey of this structure. The inner bailey's where it's still outside, but you'll have like your fresh water supply, some towers, guard towers, things of that sort. But she tells you, so once you get to the inner bailey, you're going to go into the center single door to the west, and there is the main hall with the structures above it. But if you go down the stairs, you can go into where the cellars are.
I know the way. I have wintered here before.
All right. Yeah, we can head back with the whole group.
So what is y'all's plan?
So we're gonna see if we can rescue if anyone's there in the cellars. But definitely the circus and the other wagons, the sisters should
Find a safe place to hole up?
Yeah.
James says, we'll do our best to back up a little ways, but we really can't turn around here. We can't do that until we get into the Abbey itself.
I have a
Okay.
question. Can I scratch out in the dirt or in the snow a rough map based on my knowledge of the Abbey?
Mhm.
So I'm going to sketch out basically what you sent to me in Messenger.
Okay. Let me.
Sorry to do that to you.
It's okay. I'm getting used to it. Let me do this real quick.
Who knew the goblin would be handy?
Goblins are always handy. Mostly in our pockets for our gold, but
And handsy.
Crazy.
That is totally what I was thinking, Nick.
So an amazing map with detail the goblin draws out into the snow for you. And like I said, you see the structures. All of you see the map right now?
No, I don't
No.
have a token with vision on this map.
Oh shit, I gotta put your tokens on here, sorry. My bad. Keep doing that, forgetting I gotta.
My art skills have diminished somewhat.
All of you should now have some kind of vision on the map.
Yep.
Anybody
Yeah,
not able to
kinda.
see? Huh?
yeah, I'm limited to my light.
Right.
Okay, hang
Yeah.
on. I will fix that again. Configure map. I need to go to brightness. It has global illumination. Save changes. How's that?
Better. Thank you.
Yes.
Alright. Kat, did you come along or did you stay at the wagons?
No, I come along.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm keeping up with everything.
Alright, so let's not move the tokens around the map yet until y'all tell me what you're going to do, okay? Alright. What is your plan?
All right. So some
You
of us are
guys-
more sneakier than others.
The stairs are right here. The main gate is here.
So, you know,
Gate
Blix.
into this simple courtyard and come in through here to get to the stairs.
Blix, these walls are about 8 feet tall. They're rough. They're easy to scale. But the actual Abbey itself, this structure here, has very high walls. And it's kind of fortified. That's what you know.
So here's what I suggest. I suggest we skirt way around to the north side of the Abbey up here. Sneak over the wall somewhere around this point as our shortest access into the courtyard.
Sounds good. Should we go in, all of us, or just send some of us in? This could be
Ogres,
like
I think
a-
we all need to go.
All right. So this will be just an insertion.
Amazing.
Okay. So y'all gonna try to sneak all the way around the structure to the east, or are you gonna go to the west, which is quicker but closer to the enemies?
I think we want to avoid the enemies.
Yeah, let's take the slow route.
Okay. So y'all begin taking your way to the west, and I'll move your tokens for you real quick. Just give me a second.
I am being stealthy, even if the rest of the party is not.
So if I'll go ahead and as a group, I need all of you to give me a stealth check and make sure it's blind. Is everybody? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, yeah. And we have 1, 2, 3. All right. You'll begin making your way along, through the wooded area by the Abbey. Making your way, and you come across what appears to be an old shack kind of structure in the woods to the north of you as you're moving. You don't remember this, Blix, but you know there's old structures all around about. This one seems to be kind of fallen in and of ill repair, if you will.
Is it suffering barn sag?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. But it's a smaller structure. Must have been built sometime in the past.
It's a funny looking cat, Pandy.
Anything y'all do, or do you continue on?
I'd like to take a look inside. See if there's anything in there. I'm being very stealthy.
So who goes inside? I heard Raphael and Blix, is that correct? Raphael, 2 can give me stealth checks, please.
What check?
Stealth.
Stealth?
Okay.
Hey, I just noticed we don't have dice.
Well, it's a blind check.
Oh, duh.
All right. So, Blix and Raphael, you kind of break away from the group. You make your way to the shack. You kind of look into it, and you move into the interior of it, and it seems like it's old, been abandoned for a while. But you do notice there is like a maybe a game trail that leads into the interior of the shack, like a small little trail of pressed grass that's kind of over the years has kind of created a small narrow trail in and out of the shack. Do y'all investigate, or what do you want to do?
Investigate. You want an investigation check?
Yes. And what are y'all investigating for here, exactly?
I'm looking for any signs of orcs, ogres, goblins, or other threatening creatures.
Okay. Raphael?
Footprints, or dropped belongings, or disturbed snow.
Raphael, what are you searching for?
I'm looking for anything that might be useful in the coming battle. So, like, anything that might be a makeshift bomb or something.
Okay. Well, go ahead and give. Okay. Make me an investigation check, please, Raphael.
Sure. Investigation or perception?
You're searching for and looking for specific items. Investigation.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't see any goblins, and all the equipment here is old, long molded, and dead, and rusted away or whatever. Not much of value. The only thing that catches your eye is that single trail that leads into the structure, and also leads back out. As you're kind of near the entrance, looking into it, kind of glancing around. It doesn't look terribly stable structure, but there is that track.
I am curious. I wonder if there is like a secret way into the Abbey through here somewhere, like a hidden passage.
You would wonder that.
Do you want to search for like something that's hidden?
Yeah, I want to search specifically for that.
What's your perception check on that, or your perception modifier? Because I have a 14, or plus 4, I should say.
Yours is better than mine, so I say to Raphael, I wonder if there's a way into the Abbey from here, like some underground tunnel or something.
That's a good question. And can I do this as a advantage roll?
Can I assist? Yeah.
Yes, you can assist.
And you want this blind still?
Yes, please. So Stealth
Okay.
for... I'm sorry, I misunderstood you.
Perception.
You said stealth. Okay.
No, perception.
I know I heard stealth. Okay. So you're trying to you're perceiving for a secret, right?
Right.
Right.
Okay. Go ahead and make a check. So, yeah, you kind of go into the structure a little further. Raphael looking around. There is this track that kind of leads in, and it actually leads right to and under part of the structure's kind of collapsed over the trail. And you're kind of looking at it. You don't see any signs of distress. Maybe that's actually placed there.
I call back to Blix. The trail goes here under this debris that's fallen, or it looks like it's fallen.
Is it possible for me to wiggle under that debris, or is it something that we would have to move in order for me to get under there?
It's not it's like you think of like 3 or 4 large picnic tables that are kind of like piled up and like piled in one area. You probably could slide one of them out of the way.
Raphael, help me move this table or whatever this thing is.
Part of the structure, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna quietly try to move this out of the way.
All right, so yeah, you both grab a hold of it and begin to slide it. And give me stealth checks, please, both of you.
Oh no!
That wasn't blind. It doesn't count.
All right. So Raphael, you're helping Blix. You're expecting to be much heavier than it really is. Blix is being quite careful about it, but you go to grab it, think it's gonna be really heavy, and it's like, and you just yank it out of her hands, and it goes flying across the room, and goes, knocks some more of the wood down. Some of the roof kind of bows and shakes above your head. You're like, oh shit, the whole thing's gonna come down, but it doesn't.
And everyone outside, like the rest of the party, heard that and saw that?
They heard it. They didn't see any movement from the structure itself, though. But
okay.
Damn, being a gentle giant.
Yeah, right in front of you, though, you see an old well that was covered up, right? And the tracks lead right to the rim of the well.
All right, I'm gonna poke my head outside and gesture. Come on, you guys, come up here.
All right, I'm going to head into the barn.
Okay. So you all carefully make your way into the barn. Nobody seems to have noticed the activity going on down here. But you do see the well leading down to the ground. Okay.
Going to look inside the well. Is there like handholds or anything like that?
Well, a very short distance into it, you see what appears to be, yes, handholds where you could like climb down the well, built into the side of it.
All right, so it's like maybe our way in.
Yeah, let's go down and see where this leads.
So you, one by one, follow it down into the darkness. Your feet finally splash down into a little bit of water, and you hear a running, like some kind of natural stream that's kind of flowing. The water is ice cold on your feet. If you don't have boots on that are waterproof, in very short order, your feet get numb just from the temperature. But there's a tunnel that leads westwardly towards the Abbey. Although you'll have to squat, except for Blix. She's quite okay. And it's dark, and it's dank, and it's cold down here. But it does head westwardly.
Sounds like my cup of tea. I'll go first.
Very unpleasant.
I like dark, dank, cold, and west. So
All right.
I'll take point.
So
I could just imagine the cat going with each step,
shaking its paws. All right. Yeah. So you're slowly making your way forward, Blix, and the rest of the group's following behind you. Does anybody need a torchlight, or you all have dark vision?
I do not have dark vision.
So
Just put your hand on the person
Torch me.
and follow along blindly.
All right, I grab Blix somewhere and follow along.
Crazy.
The only thing I can do is like follow Candy, I guess.
All right,
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna,
pulled on
I'm
my
gonna-
tail.
I'm gonna hand a length of rope to Nick, and I'm gonna hang on to the other end of it. And if he wants to pass it back, we can all hold on to the rope so that nobody gets lost.
Okay.
And I'll pull up the rear because I do have dark vision.
All right, I'm gonna pass the apparently rope in my hand to the person behind me.
So you do all of this, you begin heading deeper into the darkness. It doesn't seem to angle up or not. It just kind of continues on. The water does get a little deeper as you move in, though, up to your knees. Blix is probably up a little past your waist. You're getting cold, slightly shivering, and you've gone a good probably 50, 60, 80 feet inward, and then a little bit more of a distance. You think you've covered a pretty good distance. It is a pretty straight path, although it does bend here and there, and there's little tributaries that kind of meander off of it, but nothing big enough for a person to walk through. But here and there, you do see what appears to be sconces on the wall that somebody could put a torch, but there's no torch in it. Like you could put a torch and light it. The ceiling kind of gets a little taller here and there at different spots. It's a little more comfortable to walk. And then you begin to see some light ahead of you. Some light spilling in. And the temperature, you feel the air kind of blowing. The air here, the air gets a little fresher. And that's when you come out and you see what appears to be a bucket like hanging mid-air in front of you. And there's a circular pool where the water is kind of bubbling up. And then it kind of flows past your feet. Some kind of natural spring is flowing up underneath the Abbey here. And you look up and you see daylight above you.
That has a bucket.
All right. All right. I think I know where we are. I think I remember that in the middle of the central courtyard there is a well. I think we're right at the bottom of that.
All right, do you want to shimmy up the rope and see what's going on in the courtyard?
Sure.
So, shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. You lift her up, Nick, I guess, so she can grab a hold of the rope?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, I need you to make me a strength check.
Me?
You? Yeah.
No, not you. Lick. She's climbing, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You know what we need for the party is a barbarian that can hurl a goblin.
We do need a goblin thrower.
Yes. That'd be
I
more
know
terrifying
the
than a
orc that can
dwarf
throw.
or a midget thrower, or a halfling, I should say.
I so miss the orc. The
Or a
ogre.
gnome thrower.
Goliath. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so miss that. What a construct.
All right, here we go. So half your move, because it's difficult. And I need you to, it's an athletics check. And so what do we have here? Okay. So it's probably a good, yeah, it's a heck of a climb up. So you've got 700 feet to climb at half your move.
Yep.
So half your move is
I am
what?
15.
Okay.
I am up for the challenge, though.
So 700 divided by 15 is going to be 46 checks.
Fucking God. All right.
I'll be back.
All right. Well, you want them all blind?
No, let's start doing them one by one.
All right. You got it.
I'm gonna stand below her, just like waiting for her to fall.
That's 2, 3,
Stop me at any point I fall, or slide down, or
4. Hop, stop. Okay,
Yep.
9. All right, I need you to make you either try to your hands slip, you begin to fall, but you halt. So you don't make progress on this one. Okay, it wasn't a massive failure. So we were
Alright.
at what? How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 checks.
Yeah.
So make the fourth one. Make the fourth one again. You're good. Number 5. Oop, nope. No progress on 5. Make another check. Progress. So number 6. Okay. You actually, that last one was really good. You were able to make a little extra progress. So you're now at 8. And that last one is 9. You're good. Keep going. Good. Alright, it's a failure. Really bad failure. Your hands slip. It's kind of slippery on the rope. And you're like, oh, you begin sliding down, losing some of your height you gained. It's a little slippery. Make me a strength, an athletics. I'm sorry, acrobatics check to hang on to the rope to grab it last second. Perfect. So you only lost one, so you're back at 9.
This is a climb. I love it.
10. No progress. Double the progress, that puts you at 12, I think?
Yep.
Okay, progress, that's 13. Athletics. Make a
Athletics?
Make a no, not athletics.
I'm sorry.
Acrobatics. Yeah, you're fine. 8. Yeah, no, you got an 8. No,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you lose back up to 10.
Okay. I'm still like a quarter way up the rope almost.
Yeah.
Do this. I can do this.
20. You got a critical success, so that's going to be. I'm going to put you at 14.
Go, Blixie, go.
Oh, double 20.
All right, we're going to put you up at. You quickly shimmy up. You're now at the 20 check mark. You only
You're all
got
limbered up now.
another great success. We'll put you at 22. No progress.
Got too cocky. Oh.
Nope, they're fine. No progress. Okay, 23. No progress. Oh, look at that. So
It balances out in the end, right?
you're at 26. No, 27.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You're at 27.
Why is random?
28. 29. No progress. No progress. Okay, 30. 31. No, you possibly have slipped. Give me a acrobatics check to grab a hold of the rope. Oh no! So you slip back down to 30.
No!
Make a acrobatics check.
I was doing so good.
All right, so you stop at 28.
I could make more eggs, but I just don't feel like it.
I hear you. Thank you.
So what are we at now? We got
That's 30. That's 28. I'm sorry, 28 and 29.
That's 29. Thank you. All right. Nope. Make a. You can't get past this one area. You catch yourself. You don't lose any distance. Okay, you're at 31. I think I said no progress unless you get above. What is it?
Yeah.
9. No, it was 10. I think it's no. It's 11. It's progress.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 31. 16. You got progress. 32. No progress. 33. All right. 34. Make a acrobatics. Catch yourself. So you're back down to 33. No progress?
I hope the rest of the crew can make it up here.
Well, hopefully they'll have something to help them get up, right? Okay. No, 10? No, I said 11 or better. Yeah. All right. You're at 30, 34.
I'm going to start praying for a rope ladder to throw down or something.
Yeah, I was like, can Blixie actually make a rope ladder?
I don't know. People have spells that might help people climb and stuff. I don't know. Okay, it's 35. No, 30.
Yes.
All right, so it's going to be 40.
And we said it was what, 46?
You got 5 more checks.
Okay.
All
As
right.
I get closer to the top, I'm listening because I don't want to pop out in the middle of a crowd.
All right. All right, around the 43 mark, here, grumbling like talking and grumbling, and you make it out. It's probably one of the ogres talking, and then you hear a and like something's hitting structures outside, and you hear open the gate. All right, you keep climbing.
Yeah, I keep climbing.
All right. Hey, look at that. 44. Last one. 11. You made it. 45. So you get to the very edge. You kind of look up into the inner courtyard. It is empty.
Yes.
Directly to the north of you. The scale is slightly off on this map, but I'm not worried about it. You see Blix directly to the north, well, actually northwest of you, and I'll do an X on the map. Over here is where the double doors are, and you see them kind of going, whatever's hitting on the outside. It's like, open up. You see spool down on the ground next to you, more rope and a crank that's attached to the winch.
All right. And so the rope is attached to the winch?
It's not completely down. That's why you had to be lifted up. But you can lower it down and possibly wheel somebody up who's not too heavy via that route.
Everyone weighs probably like 3 times what I do, but I'm going to climb out and kind of crouch down and hide on the southeast side of the well.
Uh-huh.
And lower that winch down further.
Okay.
I
Next person can climb up.
I weigh the least out of all of us.
You're going to have to hold your phone next to your face so I can hear you.
I weigh the least out of all of us.
All right. So who goes up?
I'm hoping that Nick would be the next one up. So I'm sitting there just going, oh my God, please.
Did you want to try to winch somebody up via the winch, or?
I'm gonna
somebody
try
climb.
to assist with the climbing. Yeah. So as somebody's climbing up, I'll be winching the rope at the same time, and hopefully we can make double the progress.
Okay, we can try that. All right. Who's going to climb next? Who has the best climbing chance? Basically, is a question you probably should be asking yourselves.
Probably is going to be Pandy.
Yeah, probably me.
All right.
I have 20-foot climbing speed.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you just need to make
Bunch of strengths or athletics.
yeah. Let's see here. So you have to make half. Well, her movement was 15, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 45. Let's jump that down to about 30 or so, give or take.
I have said that many times.
My sentiments exactly.
She's been yelling this whole time, like, go, Blixie, glow!
So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. You can roll faster.
I'm trying.
Failure, make a acrobatics check. Okay, you don't lose. Now, I just realized this. You do have inspirations. You can use an inspiration to cover half the distance.
Sweet. I'm gonna do that.
Sorry, Blix, I forgot about that.
That's all right. I'll save my inspiration. I made it.
All right, so let's go ahead and have you make 10 more checks real quick. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not so. Now you got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. 10. Awesome. Suddenly you see Blix's claws go outside on the rim, pull herself out and onto the ground. Between the two of you, think you could use the winch and the bucket to actually heft people up quickly.
Let's do it.
Who is stronger? I have a 17. Is anybody stronger than me?
No.
Dean, I don't even know what that means.
All right, so I
if go
need.
up next, then I can help pull up faster than others.
Okay, so I need Blix and Pandora to make a strength check. Now you can assist, or you can do it separately.
I'm gonna assist.
Okay, I was gonna say my strength is 16 plus 3.
All right, so go ahead and make me a check, please. We'll make it public. It's athletics. All right. Go ahead. One more.
Did you want me to as well, since I'm just
no,
assisting?
No, just assisting.
Okay.
It gives her advantage. All right. So yeah, you're like winching, and the door's like, and then suddenly you see your Raphael's form kind of emerging out of the pit. So let me move that over here. We have Pandora.
My eyes glowing in the dark.
Raphael right here. And at the same time that happens, you see the doors burst open and fall down into the courtyard, and running in is a large ogre. And behind him you see some kobolds and what you think might be an orc. They can't get quite past him yet. Alright. So he's actually right here. What is your plan, folks?
I think two of us should fight.
I yell down the well, ogre!
And it echoes, ogre, ogre, ogre. Of course, there's no bucket for them to climb up yet. But so
Lost the bucket.
Raphael said, what?
I was going to say that I'll winch up the next two people. Yes.
Okay.
Or is it? Yeah, it's two people. And you two hold them off long enough for all the party to get here.
That sounds good.
He can squash me like a bug, but okay, let's do it.
I'll be next.
So I'll drop the bucket down.
1 second. So on the combat tracker,
Mm-hmm.
I need folks to initialize, please.
Got it. Okay, I didn't initialize. Someone initialized for me.
Okay, roll again.
How do you roll?
Just roll it from your character sheet initiative. But
You already rolled. You have an 18.
No, I didn't roll. Someone rolled me.
But you not want an 18. Roll a d20 and add your your initiative bonus, please. Look, let's not worry about it. You have an 18. You're the highest.
Yeah,
order.
it's not really. Yeah.
You're really
I'm-
high up
I'm
in
fine.
initiative order. So it probably happened by accident. Somebody just clicked it by accident. It happens. But it still used your
Yeah.
modifiers, okay?
Cool.
All right. Cats, there's nothing for you to do yet. Raphael, you're going to move and start winching. Is that correct?
Correct.
I need you to give me a strength check, please. Athletics.
Athletics. Okay. Public or private?
You can do it public.
Okay. And normal and boom.
All right. So you quickly lower the bucket down and begin. Who's climbing onto it next?
That'll be me.
All right, and you begin winching him up by yourself, so you don't have advantage. So I need you to quickly make 10 checks. No, I'm sorry, 5 checks.
Okay.
Athletics. Just click it. 1, 2, 3,
Oh,
4,
just
5.
athletics. I thought was strength. Hang on.
Athletics or strength.
All right.
Same thing. It's the same thing.
Unless you're proficient, then it's not.
Right.
You can make
It's the
these
same
public, by the
modifier,
way.
so I'll just do it. 1. You said 5,
Yes,
Mhm.
it's 1.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Give me 2 more rolls, please.
All right. Oh, gonna need a few more.
Raph,
too.
roll better.
Okay, so you didn't get him up in time, so we're moving on. Nick, you're currently
Okay.
pulled up. Blix, what do you do?
I whip out my, what is this? My rapier
Mm-hmm.
in one hand and a dagger in my offhand and charge in.
I think you have some racial ability against large or giant creatures. He's large, not giant, so I don't know if you do.
Hang on 1 second. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, hey. I don't need advantage on attack to use my sneak attack if I'm within 5 feet of it.
Right.
Oh yeah, Fury of the Small is what I've got. So with my rapier, I'm going to move in. Actually, I'm going to go 5. Is this 10 feet or 5 feet?
Just move your token. Ignore the map grid. It's on the map, but it just doesn't.
Okay,
I'll
I'm
make
going to
the
move
color
to
more
here.
obvious.
I'm going to slash with my rapier. Attack.
So the red squares are the actual grids, just so you know.
Okay. 14 to hit.
All right. Versus the ogre.
Yeah.
Why is it not giving me his? There he goes. Okay, his armor class is an 11. 14 hits.
Right. Oh, that's the wrong damage. Hang on. There's my damage. 11 points of damage.
All right.
Then I'm going to bonus action offhand attack. And
That's a hit.
Okay. Hang on. I also have. I don't have that set up on that. So it's. Why do I have a +3 on the dagger?
It's 1d4 plus 3. It's probably your strength modifier or something. What's your strength no?
It's my it is one of my modifiers.
Proficiency, you know, it's.
It's my dex modifier.
There you go.
All right, so 12 points of damage with the dagger, and then I am going to dance away And I still have movement left, yeah. So, I'm actually also going to use up my Fury of the Small since I hit him, so that's an extra 3 points of damage.
All right, so you move in, Blix. Like he kind of sees you like his goblin, like kind of ignoring you. But then you go whack whack whack, like just gifting him, like just stabbing into him. And he's like, whoa, ooh, small, hurt. He swings his club down by you, woof, but you've already moved out of the way at this time. Where are you going?
Yeah, I am moving to here, and because of my fancy footwork, he does not get an attack of opportunity.
Okie dokie. But
And that is
he does take an attack. The nearest target, which will be Raphael, because there's nobody like blocking him from doing that. So he moves forward. Here. No, actually, he just stays where he's at. He's got reach, and he will make.
I'm pretty pleased that I just attacked a freaking ogre.
And survived, right?
And I did, what was it? 12, 23, 26 points of damage too.
Raphael, the 24 hit.
Yeah.
You take 18 points of damage as the ogre like swings at Blix, misses, looks up, sees you, and just does an upward swing, whack, hitting you for 18 points of damage.
Well, I'm out of the count.
All right.
We'll fix you, don't worry.
Y'all see Raphael get knocked down. Pandora, you see the winch go start to drop your companion.
Grab it!
I grab onto it as fast as I can using my feline agility.
So that's his move, and he doesn't move. He just stays there. All right. So yeah. Okay. So you grab a hold of it. All right. You crank.
And I start. Yeah, I furiously pull him up.
Make me a strength check, please, or an athletics check.
How many do you want?
5.
Go, 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 go.
All right.
Rawr.
Yeah, so you're like, and so the ogre, hits your companion. You grab the winch last second. You begin just like wheeling it, and you're ducking because the ogre, he just swing, but he's like, but you're just lucky, and he hits the well. Rocks kind of fall inside. Nick, you're like banging against the walls. You're like going and you're getting pulled up rapidly. Finally, you see the edge of the well, and your hands kind of grab up, and you pull yourself out of it. You see this ogre to the north east of you as you come pulled out.
As I pull out, I want to shift into my werewolf form.
Okay.
Phrasing.
And I guess I'll put, I don't know, I don't need to track that. Okay.
Tell you what,
so he comes out, literally, as he's coming out of the well, he's already like, his jaw's extending, his neck's growing, hair goes, crowns back, and he's like, and the ogre's like, looking down at you. Not quite sure what the hell it's looking at. And that's Pandora, and Nick, you're up at the top, okay. This kobold here will take a pot shot with its sling at Pandora. You have a little bit of cover. I'll add 2 to your AC. Misses. And this goblin will run in and under and past the ogre's legs, and he will attack with his scimitar foolishly because he had ranged. 19 versus your armor class, Pandora. That's a hit.
15.
And dealing you 7 points of damage. Alright. That ogre hit pretty hard, huh? Alright, and the other kobold. He will do a sling attack also. And he will sling out at I guess Pandora, because she's the only one that's really easily visible. Wow, I'm rolling really good. That's a hit. dealing you 3 points of damage. The sling bolt goes against your cat head, or however you hiss. I'm not sure. Top of the order, Krazitz. You got fly or anything in your spell repertoire?
Do I have a fly?
Fly spell.
No.
You can move through the earth, right?
I can. No, I can't. I can shift things, but I can't actually like physically move through it. And at this point, it's a wall, so yeah.
All right. Is there anything you wish to do, or are you going to wait for the bucket to get lowered down to you?
It's 400 feet up in the air, so I am stuck
Okay.
until someone brings me up. Yeah.
Right.
Sorry.
Raphael, give me a death save, please.
Public?
Yeah. That's a success. All right. Nick, you just need 2 more successes and you stabilize automatically.
All right. I'm in wolf form, and I'm going to go ahead and light my sword on fire. 2.
Not sure what the 2 is for, but.
Whenever I do that, I have to injure myself a little bit.
Oh, that's right. It's blood, yeah.
Yes. All right, so I got the sword on fire. I am wolf, and I'm going to move into the center of attention right here.
And start tanking.
Do what?
And start tanking.
Yes. How bad does the ogre look? After it's a little stabby.
He's taking some damage, for sure.
All right.
You can spend an action to make a medicine check if you want, but you know.
No, I'm just seeing like if he's bleeding out, if he's staggering, or anything like that.
Not yet.
Okay, then I'm gonna go after him.
I had to mute y'all for a second to find out if those sirens I'm hearing are on my end or on the computer.
What's our time? 8:43. Ooh, you got a crit! Yeah!
All right.
Get him.
Image.
Go, Nick! I believe in you.
Be 19 plus. 2 fire.
Okay, so. Yeah, Nick, you step in with your flaming sword. He's like swatting at you with his half a tree, and you just like right into up under his ribs, into where his lungs would be. He's like, and he stumbles back a little bit. His arms catch the sides of the Abbey's fortifications, and then he like bats away at you with his sword. Anything else? When you pull your sword out like that, blood goes all over you and onto the ground, showers out. And he's like, "Arr!" His free hand grabs the wound, and blood's just trickling out from his fingers. He's like, "Arr! You hurt!"
So as the sword is in him or whatever, I just go up to his face and just "Rah!"
And like, "Arr!" And he goes, he's afraid of you for sure. All right, Blix.
Yes.
What do you do?
I get my map centered back. I dash back in like the nimble little minx I am. 2 steps in, slash. Or not.
Forget you're within 5 feet. You got friendlies also, so 8's gonna miss.
Wait, no. Actually, since he's engaged with Nick, I actually should have had advantage on that roll.
Okay, roll again. 9, gonna miss. Barely, but it misses.
Offhand, bonus action offhand attack will be with my dagger, which hopefully does better. God damn it. Which also should have rolled with advantage, but I didn't.
Roll again, because you could get a crit.
All right, well, still a hit.
Alright, damage.
12 points of damage,
12.
and then I dance away.
So, Blake, how do you do this?
Let's see. I'm pretty short, so we're gonna have to take that into account. But I just scooch in, slash his femoral artery, and dance back out.
Yeah, so you scooch in. His crotch is like hanging right here, and you see the loincloth kind of hanging down. You're like, and that's when you see that where the joints and the arteries are, you just like right into where his crotch is, and you just slice it out, and blood just comes showering down his leg. He drops to a knee, falls face down almost instantaneously. His blood just gushes out to the ground and falls on the ground right before your feet, Nick. The goblin looks at that, looks at y'all, looks at that, and goes, oh. That's all he gets out. Ogre's down. Pandora.
Who knew that Blitz would be useful?
I did.
Do you lower the bucket down, or do you help Raphael, or what do you do?
I'm going to attack this goblin right here.
Okay. That's a miss.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, this goblin, he fires off a sling. No, yeah. This kobold fires off a sling at Nick. Come on. Normal. 17 versus your armor class, Nick.
No.
Miss. Alright. The goblin realizes he made a strategic mistake. Coming in here, he should have stayed back. So he will use his nimble escape. Let me look at that real quick. Yeah, so he takes a nimble escape. And he'll to here, avoiding any kind of attacks, and he fires an arrow. Oh, I think he has ability here. No, it's just nimble. Okay. 10 versus your armor class, Nick. It's gonna be a miss. And then he shouts out, "Ada! Ada! We're under attack! We're under attack!" He's coming over the wall, climbing over the wall. Another goblin. Another kobold takes an attack with its sling. Let's see, is he attacking here? Yeah, he'll attack Nick. And does he get pack tactics here? 5 feet. There's no allies within 5 feet. Does he kick that one in? No. So he makes a sling attack. I have a 21 versus your armor class, Nick. It's a hit. Dealing you 5 points damage. Wow, they're nickel and diming you, huh? Alright.
It's piercing?
Bludgeoning.
Okay, so still have. So I take 2 or 3?
2.
Alright.
While this is going on, can I yell down the well for cats to start climbing?
Yeah, you can. Cats, you can start climbing.
It's gonna take me longer than someone just. I'm literally, my strength is 9, guys. So yeah, I could try.
Yeah, well, you can try, certainly. There is a big risk because there's nothing below you. If you do miss multiples, you could fall to your death.
Yeah. So I'm gonna.
On you.
What?
Or we could all die up here waiting on you.
All right, cats. What are you gonna do? It's your turn.
I die, then they die, and then I die.
Cats, what are you gonna do?
Uh.
Sorry, we're rushed on time, so Are you gonna say? Are you gonna not? Are you
I
not
just-
gonna attempt it, or are you gonna attempt it? That's what I need to know.
How many times do I need to do it in order to get up the?
Well, they're not
the wall?
winching. Are somebody winching her up? Is anybody winching her up?
I'm nowhere near the winch.
So that's a no. So it's 45 checks, just like Blix.
Do it the hard way, just like me.
And if I fail,
I mean, you can only
how
do
many
one
do I
per.
have
You
to
can only do
fail?
one check per turn, by the way, because we're in combat. So
right. But
And
how
Dorothy.
many fails before I fall to my death?
it's how bad you fail, really, per check.
Well, Pandora
I
can
might as
help
well
out.
die.
You're up here.
Well, okay,
Yeah, if you start climbing on my next turn, I'll lower the bucket and start winching.
Oh, she can't climb at all without the bucket. There's no. Remember, the roof kind of broke away.
If there's no bucket, then I can't climb anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So if you guys have the bucket, I'm pretty much down here going, what the hell? Yeah. So
I'll do it on my next turn.
assumption is
Okay.
okay.
So
I'm
all
gonna stay until her next turn. Yeah.
Raphael, another death save, please. Don't roll a 1. Oh, it's a critical failure. You have 2 failures automatically.
It's not a critical failure.
It's a 1. Oh, it's a failure. I'm sorry. You just have 1 failure. My bad. It was red in my system, so it tells me. I thought it was a failure. All right, never mind. You have 1 failure, 1 success. All right. All right. He attacks with his bow. And he attacks at Nick. 16, Nick. That's a miss.
No.
All right. And Nick, you're up. You got 2 kobolds by the entrance, a couple goblins in the back. One of them is shouting for reinforcements to the west.
Yes.
You hear large.
Yay. I look back at Pandy. I'm like, get the wizard. And then I go in to attack.
All right.
We have 15.
For kobold? Oh yeah.
Alright, it's gonna be 9 regular.
Instant kill. That one's dead.
Okay. Oh, for an extra attack.
One right in front of that. Didn't reach.
I don't have an extra attack.
Oh,
It's an
okay.
Oh,
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 okay.
for an extra attack.
Blix.
Not yet.
I am going to
Let me move the big guy out of the way for now.
I'm gonna scooch over here to Raphael, and I'm gonna pour my last healing potion down his gullet.
All right. And that is 2d4 plus 2. I can roll it for you if you like.
Please do.
1, 2. Plus roll. 5.
5.
Now, I'll be really nice. If you want to burn another inspiration, if you have one to burn, you can re-roll that. But you got to take what you roll.
I'm gonna go ahead and burn my inspiration. And what was the roll? 2d4 plus 2.
Uh huh.
8.
Yep. Okay. Raphael, you get 8 points back.
Mark off that inspiration. All right.
Dead. I'll remove it from the combat. And now we're up to Pandora. What are you doing?
I'm going to lower the bucket and then winch like crazy
right.
to pull her up.
So you throw the bucket down. It goes. Within one turn, you get it down to her. You can climb onto the bucket, and she'll begin winching you up. All right.
Got it.
Dead. Remove him from the combat. All right. This goblin up here will fire at Nick. And he has. I think he has. No, it's just nimble escape. He doesn't get the summon in 5 feet advantage. 7 versus armor class is going to be a miss. That kobold there uses his nimble escape. No, he has pack tactics. He does a. He has advantage on attack rolls for creatures at least one of his allies. No allies within. Nope. Okay, he does not get that, so he does a sling. And he's very, very worried. He doesn't like this. Oh, he got a crit! Ah, kobold with a crit.
He's using a ranged attack next to me.
Oh, sorry. No, that's wrong. My bad. He would have used his dagger.
You're rolling blind, by the way.
Am I? Sorry. I'll roll again. Why am I rolling? Oh, yeah, I see
I
why.
mean, he can do a ranged attack and I'll attack him back.
I know. Alright, he attacks. Normal. And I got a 23. That's a hit. He does damage. Normal. For 6 points of damage to you, Nick, and that's slashing.
Slashing? Alright.
Alright. Top of the round. Cats, you're slowly being winched up. Raphael, you're up. You're prone, but you're awake. What do you do? I can't hear you, Raphael.
There we go. Okay. Sorry about that.
What do you want to do?
So I will move here and attack that guy right there.
Okay.
Nope. One too far over. Yeah.
There you go. All
Sorry.
Right. Make an attack.
Attack.
10. That's a
It
miss.
was you.
Sorry.
That's a success, you said?
It's a miss.
No.
Oh, that's a miss? Okay. I was like, oh, I missed. I mean, it was so close to 19, and then suddenly it's 4.
Alright, so we are going to stop here because it's 9 o'clock practically.
Yeah.
Actually, let me get this one goblin's attack out of the way. He will do a short bow. He'll do a short bow. He'll attack normal. He's attacking Raphael for an armor class 10. It's going to be a miss. And yep, so this is where we're going to stop for the night.
I have one question. Has Sandy got me all the way to the top by now?
No,
Can we start? Okay.
it takes a little longer because we're in combat now versus just turn after turn after turn. All right, folks.
Yes.
Hope you enjoyed. I know it was a it was a process. I was afraid you weren't going to check for secret passages.
I almost didn't. I really almost. That was a spur of the moment kind of epiphany.
Right?
Yay.
Good job. All right.
Cool. All right.
Thank you.
Next week.
Good.
Yeah,
Raphael,
next week, y'all. And remember, if you write notes, you can have more than one inspiration per game.
I'll get them to you this weekend.
All right. Bye, y'all. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.